1912. That makes me 94. Is that right? I'm not cheating myself, am I? The exact address, Regal's Place, number 6 Regal Place, Old Montague Street. I must say this is funny. And I was sitting in the Sobel Centre one day, this was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was sitting next to a couple of people that were talking. Something they said, and I had to butt in. I said, "Excuse me, did you live in the East End?" And Mum said, "Yes." I said, "Did you live in Regal Place?" "Yes." I said, "Did they used to call you Shaverla?" She said, "Yes." She said, "How do you know all this?" I said, "Because you lived in number 4 and we lived in number 6. Your parents were deaf and dumb." She said, "That's right." Now, what do you think of that for memory? After we moved from here, I must have been about 6, getting on to 7 when we moved. And I remember going back there to see all the old neighbours. My mother took me to see all the old neighbours. And I said, "You or your sister," was talking to me. One of you turned around and said to the other one, "Course, she talks just like a Shiksa now." Because they had the East End drawl, and I didn't have it, you see. "She talks just like a Shiksa now." Who did I live? Well, my parents. It was the cul-de-sac, 6 houses up and 6 houses down, the other side, opposite. And behind us was the Jewish theatre. My parents, Sarah and Chaim. My grandparents came to live with us. They had their own place, but when my grandmother died, my father's mother, my grandfather came to live with us. And don't forget, you know Uncle Barney, remember Uncle Barney? Hilda's father. Come Hilda. Well, they lived near each other. So when my father's mother died, my grandfather went to live with them. And my mother and father never had a home to themselves. From the day they got married, they had the sister-in-law living with them, then my mother's mother, and then my father's father. They were born in Russia. Vilna, is it Vilna? Would it be Vilna? No, my mother and father met in London. They came from Russia. But my mother got friendly with her friend Sarah, who was my father's sister. Yeah, so they were friends and they used to go together. My father was there. My father took care. My grandmother was a nice-looking woman. My mother used to wash her hair, and as you're sitting there, it was going into waves, drying in waves, naturally wavy hair. And actually went into waves. She used to brush it, comb it back, and suddenly, as you're sitting there, it's falling into waves. But none of us had her hair. How they came, I don't know, because they brought their bedding with them. They brought a samovar with them. You know what a samovar is? It's an urn with a tap. All the Jewish people had them in Russia. You just keep it on the boil. That's a samovar. Who's got the samovar? I think your father's got the samovar in his loft, I think. Must be worth something. Must be worth something, because who's got a samovar these days? Well, he makes tea. It's on the go. All the Frummers have got a samovar. You find all the Frummers have got one. They keep a small night and they use it for Shabbat. My friend across the road's got one. Yeah. My father came first, I think, and then he sent for his mother and father. That's what usually happens. Well, my father worked. What did he do? My father in the printing, funnily enough. The printing trade he was. He was a printer in Russia. He did a bit here, and then he had ambition, so he got a stall, paid for a stall, and he went to the markets with fruit and veg. When the city, with a wheelbarrow in the city, and the wheelbarrow. Then there was a place in one of the streets, and they let out, not rooms, they weren't rooms, where they can store their goods. So my father stored his barrow, and his fruit. He used to go to in the city. He used to stand in the city selling. So he used to have to go back and go. I think they worked hard. They did. They worked very hard. No, my father used to go take the barrow, fill up the barrow, and walk to the city. And in the streets in the city.